Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of Inside Politics with Shitu. Tell me in Abuja, as we reach out to you live from our studio, don't forget to watch and follow us live on various social media platforms. I'm Shitu. Tonight, we'll be dissecting the political matters happening in River State, the home state of Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike. In 3 hours from now, the people of River State in all the 23 local government areas, 4,442 polling units, 319 political wards, and 3 senatorial districts will be participating in local government elections. Although the state governor, His Excellency Governor Sim Fubara, has released a statement and addressed his party members not to participate in the October 5th, 2024 local government election. Let's listen to the governor very briefly.
You know, this election, the greatest loser. My party is not participating. It's the truth. But because the Supreme Court ruling that there must be elected officials to manage the affairs of local government, I have to, as a president, as a governor, I have to obey.
Barrister.
It did not end.
Okay, don't stay online like that, please.
The president, after the Supreme Court invited us, and we had an understanding that we have a compliance duration of 90 days. So what we're doing here is to make sure that even if my party is not participating,
there are a lot of questions to ask these men of wisdom and well-respected politicians in River States. Tonight, I won't be the only one to discuss this issue of politics in River State. We want to know what led to the political crisis in the states. Let's take a listen to the governor once again.
According to what they call themselves, Nigerian police, are coming to take over the premises of River State Independent Electoral Commission. And I had to come myself to find out why would such a thing happen. From what I heard, that one DC operation brought them here to withdraw policemen that are already here protecting this place, so that new officers will take over the place. But I have to say this on a very strong note. We've been taking enough nonsense from this institution. Everybody is aware of the court judgment, and even the judgment as they call it, the ruling. Did the ruling specify anywhere that election should not hold? He said, don't give voters register. What are we doing with it? Okay, police, don't provide security. Don't provide security. Is this the same thing as blocking the election? I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state. I don't know the relationship, because it's beginning to go beyond the normal professional relationship. I said the government wrote a letter with the judgments that we have to him, and what he's acting on is what he called the federal government, the judgment he got from the Federal High Court. Even at that, if we should go by that, the judgment in the Federal High Court, did he say election should be bad? Lifu, that's that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment. Did he say no election? Rather, it technically said don't provide. We don't need your security. We will provide our own security. After all, it happened in Anambra. Go away with your security. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do, do it. The election result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it? And when it comes to the issue of River State, it becomes different. You're not ashamed of yourself. You call yourself Inspector General of Police.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I will be here. In fact, if I go back and I hear anybody, I will come here. This is my property. And you don't have any power whatsoever to bar me from entering it.
Yes.
Just try it. That part of your history as a very wicked and fraudulent Inspector General of Police will include shooting Fubara.
Yes.
I think I've given you enough respect. Well, let me say it to all Rivers indigents. Everyone residing in River State, election will hold.
Yes.
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 Election will hold.
Yes.
Anything that wants to happen, let it happen.
We are here. Other states did. Yes. We are here.
I don't understand.
I'm not going anywhere. Let me fear anybody. We are here.
All other states did. So, everybody, just relax. Nothing is happening.
Nothing, no.
We are ready. If we know that this is going to be the last fight, and we will take it to the end. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that is the voice and the statement of the governor of Rivers State. While joining me tonight through phone call live in our studio, due to the proximity, is the state legal advisor of political party of Action People Party, Barrister Erin Ekene. Good evening, welcome to our studio live here in Abuja. Barrister, can you hear me please?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, thank you for having me.
Oh, we are calling you live from our studio here in Abuja. How is the family and how is Port Harcourt, River State at large?
Oh, well, we're fine here, and then Port Harcourt is fine, except some operated, avoidable and unnecessary crisis that some individuals who think that they want to show that they own the states. But otherwise, generally, Port Harcourt is fine, River State is excellent. The local governments have understand that the people in River State are prepared for elections tomorrow, and then this basically grassroots election. The grassroots, and so the people in local communities and the local areas, the units are all ready for the elections, including the political parties and then activities in Port Harcourt.
Oh. Barrister,
yes, please.
Barrister, yeah, we know that River State now, we can't shy away from the truth that they've been having issue of political crisis. That's between the current minister, that's the immediate past governor of River State, Barrister Nyesom Wike, and his political son, His Excellency Sim Fubara. Can you tell us what's led to this political crisis, please?
Well, whatever would have been discreet between the two gentlemen can't be not any other person, and except those issues and facts that have come to the public. So I wouldn't be in the position to say whatever secret arrangements, if at all there was any. But let me address or take it from the point of view of legal, constitutional, and public issues. The former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, of course we know, had been governor 2 terms, and then he had served the state to the best of his ability, and fortunately for him, he's been appointed as the Minister of Federal Capital Territory in the cabinet of the current President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's the fact. And then again, we have His Excellency as the current governor of Rivers State, who was elected 2023, has been sworn in, and by that extent, by the provisions of our constitution, the chief executive governor of the state. We cannot have 2 governors in any state. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria creates the office of the governor for a state, 1 governor and a deputy governor. And then so we have the governor of Rivers State. To the best of my knowledge, and then my observation, yes, we have a governor who has a constitutional mandate that the people have given him. And then we have a minister who duty already cut out for him as a member of the cabinet for the president of the Federal Capital Territory. So there is no way constitutionally and legally that their responsibilities and their duties will cross. Meaning that the governor has a function or constitutional duties to perform in the state, and then the minister has entirely different responsibility, except where one is interfering with another. And I do not think that in this case, with what has showed up, is the governor interfering with the minister's responsibilities. No, rather it is the attempt of the minister to interfere with the affairs of governing River State. So if at all one can make a guess of what may be the issue or some kind of crisis between them, is where someone has a legitimate constitutional and statutory duty to perform as a governor of a state, and then a person who has held that position and then has become a minister, even if he played a role in the emergence of the governor, but you're becoming some sort of high-handed and then wanting to be overbearing on the governor. Of course, at some level, the governor may not want to continue to condone, especially when it's going to affect the performance of his function. That for me will be one angle. Then another could be political. Political in the sense that politicians have a way of what they would refer to as structure. That's because the former governor has actually said that he holds jealously what he perceives as his followers, as the structure he has established in River State, and then he thought that the governor was going to take over that structure.
Okay.
And contest between them, but the governor had said to him, "Look, I'm not contesting to take over your structure. Those who are loyal to you can continue to be loyal to you, but just allow me to run the state. And if I have the ability and strength and the conviction of the people of River State to form a structure for myself, then allow it to be." So that for me. Then thirdly, which has also been reported, could be the issue of the treasury of the state. You know, another interest when, especially in Nigeria, what appears to be the primary interest of politicians in Nigeria, other than the primary purpose of government. The primary purpose of government by our constitution, under section 14 of the constitution, is to continually enhance the welfare of citizens and ensure the protection of lives and property. But it appears that our political office holders in Nigeria have left those two primary responsibilities of government, but focus on maximizing pecuniary interests, financial, I mean. It is in that regard that they could fight over the treasury of the state or any sphere. So at some point, this has come up clearly, really, where the governor had said that, look, the internally generated revenue of the state appears different from what he's saying on ground. And then he took steps to ensure that the right things were done. And then that seemed to have offended the sensibilities of the former governor. For whatever reason,
Barrister,
yes, please.
Let me quickly just come in here at this moment. I know you have a lot of explanation to give on that issue of treasury of the states. Are you saying, or should we say, that one of the things that led to their crisis between Barrister Yeson Wiki and Sim Fubara is that the immediate past governor want to interfere in the treasury of the state, or what? Can you please kindly explain, expatiate that particular statement?
Yes, I could say that this is not coming from me, because when we observe here, look at what had happened at some point, at least in one instance, where the governor has said that the internally generated revenue of the state was around the region of, I think, 27 billion or so, and then but what was usually retired or returned at the time the governor, or the former governor held sway, was around the region of 13 or 17 billion. And then so that was an issue. And then there has been this report, or if you like, an allegation that the former governor wanted a situation where he would still be having access to the internally generated revenue of the state, and then for the governor, the current governor, to kind of shed some part of the revenue of the state to him. So these issues had come up, and again, the former governor didn't clearly, apparently, deny those allegations, but rather said we would see whether that is actually a fact. But so for me, I think that that's certainly one of the issues. And then again, could be political appropriation of positions. we are here in River State, and then when the current governor constituted his cabinet immediately after election, I can tell you clearly, this one doesn't even have to come from the current governor. Almost all the commissioners that served under the former governor were just simply extended in terms of their appointments by the renomination and then confirmation and then appointment by the current governor. It meant, what I'm saying in concrete terms is that commissioners in Jason Wike's cabinet, right,
Yes.
turn to just continue even when Sim Fubara has taken over. That hardly happens, really. Sim Fubara isn't the first governor that would take office after a former governor. Jason Wike himself assumed office, succeeded Chief Rotimi Amechi. And then it wasn't the same. But in this case, when Sim Fubara started, all the commissioners, actually all of them, and then this wasn't far from the reality, because when the crisis broke,
Yes.
when it got to the climax, it became clear that all the commissioners showed loyalty to the former governor rather than to their principal, the current governor. So it was just clear that, oh, so really something must have happened, that the former governor may have just, in a way, whether influenced or persuaded or whatever, compelled the current governor to have those who are loyal to him to continue in the cabinet of the current governor, and they were rather loyal to the former governor instead of the current governor. They never minced their word. The former Honorable Attorney General, in fact, all the commissioners, including the chief of staff of the former governor, was in the cabinet of the current governor. And then, so when all of this happened, it was clear that it was about control of the state, and then the administration and the treasury of the state, which was an apparent, if you like, interest of the former governor.
Bryson, let me interject. Let me interject at this moment. So
Yes,
I was saying all these analysis about what transpired between the crisis, how it started, but it was the immediate governor that installed the current governor. Didn't you think they might have kind of agreement before he allowed the present governor to be a governor or to be his preferred candidates?
I would want to say no in terms of installing. We're not in a monarchy, and then we're not also in a customary or traditional system.
What the reason why I use the word installing?
I'm coming. I understand. I got you clearly, and that's what I think in my pattern of analysis really is that we have to begin to really undermine and tune down. The former governor, yes, was the governor at the time the elections were conducted, and then may have supported or assisted the current governor in the ways that he probably did. But then, in the democracy, and then in the way we practice in Nigeria and our constitution, the current governor cannot be said to have been installed by the former governor, or in any way even be made governor solely by the former governor. There was an election. That election was conducted in Rivers State, and Rivers people voted and elected the current governor. And I wouldn't want to bother about who sponsored him. Yes, the former governor may have procured his form, like he prided himself then that he procured the nomination forms for all of those that contested election in his political party at the time, the PDP. And then, yes, as we speak, even right now, I could actually have a candidate that I believe that could do well in my local government, and if I have the wherewithal, I have the financial resources, I could say, look, this person would do well in terms of delivering good governance in my local government. And I say, look, I will fund you, I will assist you. Yes, nobody is denying that assistance. I'm not sure that even the current governor has ever denied that the former governor didn't support or assist him in one form or another, but it didn't make him absolutely, because it was an election that was conducted in Rivers State by INEC, and then the Rivers people elected the current governor. That's one. Then, secondly, I do not also subscribe to the fact that because the former governor supported the current governor, then they may have had some understanding, and then that should not be a justification for what he's doing. They may have some understanding, but that would be private. That cannot be lawful, cannot be constitutional, cannot be legal. They may have some agreement. Oh, look, if you emerge as a governor, you will just carry along my former commissioners, or you'll be giving me X amount of money from the government fund, or whatever they may have entered into. But can I tell you that such extraneous agreements cannot be enforced. And they are not things that we should know, we will know. The majority of Rivers people are not subject. In fact, the Rivers State is not such a subject that they told they will negotiate their interest upon. So I wouldn't be able to say that. And if they ever had such agreement to be discreet and secret between the two of them, what should be fundamental to all of us and even the media is that what are the constitutional functions and duties and powers of a governor? Are these functions, duties, and powers to be shared by any individual, whether a former governor or a minister of the federal government, not even with Mr. President? The constitutional functions and powers of a governor are not to be shared with even the president, let alone a minister or a former governor. So even if they had any agreements, I think discussing and then enlightening our citizens, those who are listening and watching your program, we can reference those kind of agreements if they ever had any. So for me, it's something I was discountenance. What's the fundamental is, has the former governor or the minister any power, constitutional or legal, or any duty at all to conflict with that of the governor? The answer is no. So the governor, if at some point this sees that, look, I have a responsibility cut out for me, I have my functions cut out for me, and then I have to serve the Rivers people. Even if they had any social agreement or understanding with Mr. former governor, and it appears that he's no longer going to serve the purpose of delivering good governance to the people, he can renege from it. That's why it's not enforceable. Okay. And again, if it was, and then the former governor thinks that the present governor is reneging from what they understood, then you should have another way of enforcing that, not to disrupt smooth governance and administration in Rivers State.
Barrister, we are due for the first break now. I would like to, when we are coming back, I think Barry and Honorable Barrister Chidi will be joining us. Just hold on as we are going on break, a short break now. Hold on, please. We'll get back to you very soon. A break now.
Thank you.
Just hold on, please.
Yes, please.
Innovation comes a revolution in cooking oil. Introducing Gender Premium Cooking Oil. Gender oil is made from groundnuts, a natural oil source that doesn't contain any toxins or harmful chemicals, cholesterol included. You heard that right. Gender oil is 100% cholesterol free. Every drop of Gender oil is packed with vitamin A and essential nutrients, delivering the unmistakable taste and aroma that is loved by generations of African food lovers. And here's the icing on the cake. Gender oil is fully certified by NAFDAC, and every bottle has unique security features so you can trust its quality, purity, and safety. So when you want no compromise on health and vitality while enjoying that authentic African flavor in all your dishes, Gender oil is the premium choice. Gender Premium Groundnut Oil. Unleash the goodness in every drop. Now available in stores near you.
Okay. Yes, let's have some political updates. President Tinubu admits error, confers GCON honor on House Speaker. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has conferred the nation's second highest honor, the Grand Commander of the Order of Niger, GCON, on the Speaker of House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. The President, in a nationwide broadcast to mark 64th Independence Anniversary of Nigeria on 1st October, conferred Commander of Federal Republic, CFR, on Speaker and Deputy Senate President. This led to debates in the House of Representatives on Wednesday, with call on the President to review the pronouncement by giving the Speaker the higher honor. According to the President's spokesman, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, on Friday says the President was persuaded by the House of Representatives position and has decided to rewrite the historical error. Pardon. Now, let's come back to River State politics. Barrister.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the program. We tried to reach out to Honorable Barrister Honorable Barrister Chidi. Yes, Lloyd. Well, we couldn't get him. Maybe he's going to join us before we round up the program. Thank you very much, Barrister, for your analysis. The main day is coming in the next few hours. The people of River State will be going to the poll to also elect their chairman and their councillors in all the local government and political world. We've seen a video where the governor came out in the middle of the night, was it this morning, saying that there is a sabotage from the security operative, that the IG was even calling the IG that if the IG wants to join politics, should either remove his uniform and come and join the party, that the security operative, like the police, should be neutral when issue of politics is coming. So what will you say about this scenario and the security and seems to be backing, allegedly, seems to be backing the FCT minister? Let's hear your view, please.
I think I will take it from the very basic level, that is the legal background to elections. Local government elections draw inspiration from Section 7 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which guaranteed democratically elected local council. It is on that ground that the various states, the respective states in this country, made laws to create independent electoral commission for the purpose of conducting local government elections. So, because Section 7, apart from making a guarantee for the elected council, the power to make laws to with respect to the composition of local government, the administration, finances, and other matters with respect to local government, that power is vested in the states. It is to that extent that the River State House of Assembly enacted the River State Local Government Law of 2018, and then further enacted the River State Independent Electoral Commission Law of 2018 that established the River State Independent Electoral Commission. So the conduct of election in local government for River State is exclusively that of the commission, the River State Independent Electoral Commission, not INEC. It's not shared even with INEC. Now, in the conduct of election, it's expected that security will be provided just as every other time and for every other activity or event in this country. Effective security agencies that are established in the Constitution, particularly the police under Section 214 of the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria, and further established under Section 1 of the Police Act 2020, is to provide, with the sections with respect to the functions and powers of the police, is to provide security at all times and everywhere for all citizens and of Nigerians. So during elections, usually police, other security agencies will be detailed to also provide security during elections. So it is to that extent that the Nigerian police would have played a role in the conduct of election, but that role is not mandatory or is not exclusive, such that if the police is not to provide that security, that other agencies will not be able to provide, or if even other agencies choose not to, that the elections can go on. So when the Nigerian police, particularly state, conducted themselves in a manner that the governor felt that it was untoward, and then didn't seem to come within the provisions of the law, and then also seemed to be biased with the perception of the governor, then the governor made the assertion that he made. And what was that? What actually happened? Now, there had been this back and forth in terms of decisions of courts. The High Court of Rivers State, by Honorable Justice IPC Igwe, an earlier judgment sometime early in September, about 4th of September or the 4th of September, to the effect that the security, the police, the civil defense corps, and other security agencies should provide security for the conduct of local government elections 5th of October. And then, of course, for the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, recall that I've said here that it was established by the Constitution for the conduct of local government elections. So it means that we didn't even need for the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct elections. No, it's a constitutional mandate that they have. Further, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission law under Section 5 vests the power to conduct election on that commission. It didn't need the order of court or the direction of court to conduct elections. However, in addition to these two constitutional and statutory mandates on the commission, the High Court of Rivers further mandated the commission to perform that public duty that the Constitution had vested, and then even the law has invested on it. Because when an individual or an authority has a public duty to perform, it can be compelled to perform that duty if it's reneging from performing that duty. So if you put all of this together, then later, sometime about 30th of September, just a few days ago, a high court in Abuja, the Federal High Court in Abuja, presided over by Justice Peter Lifu, now delivered a judgment in a suit that was instituted by the All Progressives Congress, then National Caretaker Committee Chairman, Chief Tony Okocha, to the effect that INEC should not release the River State Commission, and that the Nigeria Police and the Department, the State Security Services should not provide security for those elections. So when that judgment came, it became an issue for the police to comply with the decision of the High Court of Rivers State by providing security for the elections tomorrow, or refusing to provide security if they chose to rely on the decision of Peter Lifu. But surprisingly, the police rather took the turn to choose to Peter Lifu in Abuja, which for me is a disturbing one with respect to the judge. Disturbing one in the sense that our courts have held several times that you do not stop the police or any statutory agency to perform that the statutory function the agency is set up to perform. That is, you cannot, the court should not stop the police from investigating or arresting to perform their constitutional functions. But I'm surprised, and then really probably surprising too by many, that the Federal High Court in Abuja is restraining the police from performing the statutory and constitutional duty of providing security for citizens of this country or for agencies or institutions of this country, provide security for RISEC for the conduct of elections.
Barrister, with that, do you see any foul play in that, giving an order not to provide security and INEC should not release whatever for the elections? Yes, voter register.
Well, it's only the judge that will be able to say, I'm a lawyer, so with respect to the judge, every matter that is brought before a judge, the judge will review the matter, and then it is in the way the judge has seen the matter, is finding that he will come up with a judgment. You may disagree with it. I disagree with him, absolutely. Okay. But that's the judgment of that court, and it's valid and it's binding, right?
Okay.
And then, but whether there is foul play, I wouldn't know. I can't say. I wasn't a party in that suit, and I don't have any evidence concretely to say whether there is anything untoward.
Okay.
The only point I would make here is that I think it's not quite an encouraging judgment in a democratic society for a judge to restrain an electoral commission from conducting election, and especially even when the law. Let me say this: the Electoral Act is clear in that regard, including the River State Independent Electoral Commission law, that no court shall make an order to stop the conduct of political party primaries or of any general election. So in this case, the River State local government election is a general election at the local government level. So it means that we have laws that have actually restrained the courts from making orders to stop elections. So to have now a judgment in that regard is worrisome. Again, like I said earlier, we have also had decisions of court, up to the Supreme Court, that the police should not unwittingly be stopped from performing its statutory function, like any other security agency, or in fact, any agency of government that is established by law to perform a function. Then you now say, no, don't perform that function. And you're not suspending the law. So to also have a decision or a judgment of a court that will stop the police from performing such functions, I think it's also worrisome. But like I said, that was the judgment of that court. And so, but we now have, in fact, earlier, not even now, we had earlier a positive judgment of the High Court of River State that the commission that was established to conduct election, go ahead and conduct your election. The Nigerian police and the Civil Defense Corps and other security agencies that are established to provide security, do your duty. If elections are conducted and at the end of the day anybody is dissatisfied with the outcome of the election, there are avenues to ventilate your dissatisfaction. Go to the tribunals and challenge the conduct of the election or the outcome of the election. That's a normal thing to do.
Okay.
But, and again, sorry again,
okay.
Recall that just recently, sometime in July, the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in this country, has given a landmark definite decision that all the 774 local governments in this country, of course that includes the area councils in the FCT,
yes,
must be governed by democratically elected council in compliance with Section 7 of the Constitution, and then made a clear mandate that, look, any state that has caretaker committee, such caretaker committee arrangement is unconstitutional and at that point prohibited and outlawed, and mandated that all such states must conduct elections. You know what? That was why all over about 17 local government states that had caretaker committees began the process of conducting election. About 10 local states have conducted election. As we speak tomorrow, Akwa Ibom is also conducting election. So it's just worrisome, and one would ask the question, why is the case of River State the way it is? The police is invading the commission, and people are protesting on the streets. Judges are giving judgment to restrain that conduct of the election. I think it leaves a lot to answer.
Okay, Barrister, thank you very much. Now, was it yesterday or some days back when the governor was addressing party loyalists that his party, PDP, won't participate in this tomorrow election? What happened? What's my led to that statement? And do you think that's healthy, or is it okay for the party in the states?
Now, the decision not to participate wasn't that of the governor. The governor was only reporting what the party had decided. Recall that the governor of Rivers State has become the governor.
The governor is the leader of the party.
Yes, he's leader of the party, but the decision of the party is not taken by the governor. Of course, not even only the Rivers State.
Then it's taken by who? It's taken by who?
Yeah, the organs of the party include the convention of the party, which is the highest organ, and then the National Executive Committee of the party, all the political parties. These are the structures.
Are you saying that even at the National Working Committee in Abuja are not in support or are not in the same agreement with the state governor?
I think I'm laying a foundation, because lately this evening I saw a different position from the National Publicity Secretary or so of the party. But otherwise, before this evening, the position was that the People's Democratic Party was boycotting the election. And I can say here in Rivers State, since it's a local election, the PDP in Rivers State, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission had said that out of the 18 registered political parties, that 17 are participating in the election, including the All Progressives Congress, apart from the People's Democratic Party. So it meant that the People's Democratic Party here in Rivers State did not express interest to run the election. And they never minced words. They actually said they were not going to participate in the election. So the governor was only expressing his regrets that his political party, which he belongs, had decided that they were not going to run the election.
He gave the directive that they should go and contest under APP.
No, I'm not sure that's correct.
It was everywhere on social media.
Let me tell you, because this I can tell you from the point of view of privileged information. The governor of Rivers State is not a member of the Action People's Party. The Action People's Party is one of the registered political parties in this country, and then has always contested in local government elections even before now, and every other election in this state. Whether the general elections, the House of Assembly, the governorship elections, the Action People's Party have always been in participation of all the elections. So this is not different. And then the Action People's Party, like every other political party, is open for membership by any person and any citizen in this country. So it has its own members, and then during the election, its members have the right to express interest to contest any position. The candidates of the Action People's Party at the councillorship level and the chairmanship level are not members of the PDP. They are members of the Action People's Party. They couldn't have been members of the PDP. PDP is not contesting the election according to them. And then the governor, that's why the governor cried out and said, look, unfortunately for him, he's even the loser in this local government election. But he just has a responsibility as the governor at the moment, and then that election must be conducted. Even if his party is boycotting, it's not by his will. And then so he has a public duty to perform, and then that duty is not that the governor conducts election really. Like I said, it's only RISEC that will conduct election. But the governor, of course, has a responsibility in that line to enable RISEC to conduct the election. That is the only role that the governor has to perform or to play in the conduct of local government election. It's just like INEC. The president has no role to play in the conduct of elections, general elections by INEC. The only role the president may have is to provide the enabling, which of course is constitutional. If the fund for the commission, the National Independent Electoral Commission, that's INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, is to be appropriated by the president. Then the president will just do that appropriation and present before the National Assembly, because INEC cannot come to the National Assembly and present an appropriation bill. It is the president. The same way in the case of a state. The commission will prepare its budget and send to the governor, because it's only the governor by law that will present an appropriation bill, lay it before the legislature. That's the extent to which he can play a role. Otherwise, all the guidelines, the procedures, and everything for the conduct of election is by RISEC, and RISEC will take its decision independent of the directive, or if you like, the influence of any person or any authority. The same as INEC. The Constitution has made these institutions fairly independent, that in taking their decision, they shall not be influenced by any authority or any individual. So the governor is not conducting an election. I recall that I've granted interviews earlier when some persons were then, when it wasn't time for election, we are calling on the governor to conduct. I said the governor does not conduct election in any state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The president does not conduct election. It is INEC in the case of general elections across the country, and then it is the State Independent Electoral Commission in all of the 36 states of this country.
Okay, there is this general, views and opinions of people on social media and even within and outside River State that the federal government, under the APC government, let me say the APC-led government, federal government, are supporting what the Minister of FCT is doing, backing him with the issues, the political issues, and the political imbalance atmosphere in Rivers that is happening. The federal government is supporting the former governor. How true is that? Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I can only make I can only imagine because I'm not in the cabinet of Mr. President. But let me say one thing clear. There is no longer a time that one will sit on the fence. I'm indigenous. I'm an indigenous of Rivers State and I'm a resident in Rivers State. And probably the pointer to those kind of assertions by those who have clearly made those assertions is that what all of these has been happening in Rivers State. And the pointers to the former governor of Rivers State and current minister of the FCT is a member of the cabinet of Mr. President. Yes. And there is nothing that is happening in any part of this country that Mr. President is not expected to know. Because if he says he's not expected, he doesn't know, then of course it means that he's not governing the entire country. That's one. Two, all of the security issues are being orchestrated and the crisis. The president can say he doesn't know or that he's not hearing. Of course, at some point in December last year, he made an attempt to want to impose certain directives on the current governor of Rivers State. Because that's why I saw it.
Did you just say impose?
Yes. Apparently, so I can say so.
Why do you say that? Let's have some of.
The president didn't have the constitutional power to make the directive that he made the other. They were directives. If you saw that instrument, it was even titled directives.
Directives? How? Can you cite one or two?
When you pick up a document, there is a title on the document.
Okay.
The title of that particular document, the 8 points agenda or whatever, was titled the directive of Mr. President. Directives. That's one. Then two, when you take steps to, if you like, displace the constitution, it is exclusive for a governor of a state to appoint commissioners of his choice, for instance. That was one of the points on that purported agreement or purported directive. That's one. And I say, look, reappoint those persons who had resigned, who were former commissioners in the former governor's cabinet.
Is this coming from the president?
Yes. No, we've passed that stage. We just made reference to it. I think we've knocked that down, and it can't be enforced anyway, and it has never been enforced. There were commissioners that served in the cabinet of Nyesom Wike, and when Nyesom Wike exited office, somehow, like I said, whatever would have happened between them, and they became commissioners in Fubara's government, and then they resigned willingly. But when they went to Abuja, they now told the governor, "No, go and reappoint them." That is taking the constitutional power that was exclusively vested in the governor to appoint commissioners of his own. And then some other directives that were there, but like I said, I don't want to re-emphasize that because that has died naturally, really. That directive has just gone and withered away like the wind. So, but what's important here, the point I'm making is, when it got to the point, if you're asking whether there is probably a bias of the government, federal government in all of this that's happening in Rivers State. Yes. So, but some of us will watch at the body language of the president. Now, look at this now. Mr. President hasn't given any directive clearly to the member of his cabinet that has been figured in all of this. That's one. The National Security Advisor has not spoken, has not addressed some of these orchestrated security threats in Rivers State. All of the security chiefs would keep a blind eye and deaf ears with all of the threats, even when they are palpable threats by some supporters and loyalties of the member of the cabinet of Mr. President, some former local government chairmen, who were even threatening the governor, and that was threatenable. Nothing happened to them. Nobody was arrested. The police command in Rivers State, they would never even question any of them. It happened in this state. We all cried out. Civil society organization, human rights organization, the public. The police would never even question the excesses of any of those, just because they were loyalists to the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. And so when you examine all of these, I wouldn't make those allegations, but then it probably would justify those assertions that you too may have heard, that people are saying that it does appear that there's some compromise or some undermining of one of these things that are happening by the federal government or whether the presidency, as the case may be.
Okay. I haven't seen all these points.
I'm sorry. And to top it, look at what has happened just yesterday with respect to the local government election. The state is prepared for election. Everybody in Rivers State is prepared for election. All the political parties are prepared for election, apart from the PDP. And then one inspector general of police directs a commissioner of police
One inspector. We only have one. IG, we only have one.
Just so it's one. We only have one. Yes, Inspector General of Police directs the Commissioner of Police in it and say, look, discountenance, disregard, don't even give any heed to a judgment of the High Court of Rivers State, and then rather give heed to the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, and then on the leaning of that to say, look, withdraw and do not provide security for the conduct of election in Rivers State. How else would you interpret that? Secondly, that policemen yesterday night will invade the premises of the Independent Electoral Commission, Rivers State Electoral Commission, without any indication, or if you like, without any hint to the governor of the state, who is the chief executive officer, and then the chief security officer. How would he explain that? And they will say, oh, they changed guard. You changed guard without informing the governor and without the governor knowing. And then at the end of the day, look at what happened in Rivers State. I was around that SEC this afternoon, and gunshots for a local government election that is within the province of the state to conduct. It is within the power of the state to conduct. It's got nothing to do with the federal government. It's got nothing. Is it because we have a federal police? And this is the problem some of us even argue about having a federal police for a federation as Nigeria. And then Inspector General of Police will stay in Abuja, and then for whatever justification, whatever reason, and choose which judgment to comply with. Okay, if it does so, okay, perhaps that's his choice. Then you now say that RISEC does not have the power to also choose which judgment to comply, where if the commission has the judgment of the High Court of Rivers State that enabled the commission to conduct election. Then the commission wants to go on with that. Then the police will say, oh, they will restrain the commission from conducting election. And then the police command in Rivers State will issue a statement in that regard, that they have a judgment that says the police should not allow. If you say you don't want to provide security, that would have been enough. But to extend it to say that the judgment said they should not even allow. So to the extent that the Nigerian police will restrain themselves for conducting election, no, now that's an invitation to anarchy.
Okay. Having seen all these analyses, your point, what led to this, what led to that, this led to that. There's this, I don't want to use the word general opinion. Some people believe, some political friends believe that those that follows River State politics, that His Excellency Simfubara betrayed Governor Nyesom Wike. What is your stance on that?
Well, I think
I use the word. I use the word betray. That was the language.
Yeah, no, I understand that, because in what, with respect to the performance of the functions of the office of the governor, is it we need to rise above this kind of narratives in this country. That's me. It's my first time of having an interview with you, but. Everywhere I've spoken, you may not like, but we have to uphold our constitution. Even all these public officers we are referring to now, from Mr. President to the minister to the governor to members of the National Assembly, pursuant to the schedule to the constitution, they have sworn to an oath to uphold the provisions of the constitution, to ensure that the constitution is, I just can't understand. Now, a governor is elected in a state to perform certain functions. And those functions to be performed by the governor are not to be shared by any individual. Where does the concept of betrayal come, where you talk about the performance or the functions of the governor of a state? Or if it's betrayal as to their private arrangement, what is my business about the private arrangement and agreement and understanding between Simfubara and Nyesom Wike? Because that agreement should not ordinarily be connected to or with the performance of the office or function of the office of the governor. So let us assume that Fubara and Nyesom Wike agree that, look, we'll build a stadium together. Or no, not a stadium, even that we will own a farm together. And then this governor is betraying the minister. Is that why we have all the political crisis in the university? That's a private arrangement altogether. Because they cannot have a public arrangement in such a way that if the governor decides to renege, then you call it betrayal. Because they are not even supposed in the first instance to have any private arrangement or understanding with respect to the performance of the functions of the office of the governor. Otherwise, we're not having a democracy, really. We're not upholding the provisions of our constitution, really. Can this happen to Mr. President? Can Mr. President have any private put him into office? And then when the president comes to power, and they say, look, he wants to uphold the constitution, then that individual will say, oh, Mr. President is betraying him. Betraying in what regard? Can we be more specific to say what that betrayal is? Because if you say, yeah, you betray me, it should be on a subject. We agree to do a thing and then I renege from it. Because I made the point earlier that it is our law that you cannot even enter into an agreement to commit an offense. That agreement is unenforceable. So even if the former governor and the current governor, before he became governor, entered into any kind of agreement between the two of them, perhaps to share even the resources of the state or to do anything onwards, but it's outside of the performance or the function of the governor, and then the governor has assumed office, would you call that betrayal?
Well, thank you very much. Lastly, before we say goodbye to these today events, well, with all what is happening in River State politically, I believe this is not going to be a good one for the people of River State, because it's going to be affecting, the development of the people of River State. But it's politics. They call it a power play. In your own word, what do you think is the way out? Tomorrow is election. Just in less than 2 minutes. What do you think is the way out?
2 minutes is enough for me. Let me take that first. Elections will hold tomorrow in River State.
Okay.
It's democracy. It's the constitutional right of citizens and residents in River State to go and exercise their constitutional right to vote. And then I enjoin every resident in River State who is eligible to vote, go pick up your voter card, go to your polling unit, and then cast your vote freely. And then haven't listened to all the political parties and the candidates during the period of campaigns. You've heard their messages, their promises, and then their undertakings. You are to determine who amongst them should lead you. Go and do that. And then let all the stakeholders just allow the local government elections to hold in River State. The stakeholders, I mean the security agencies, the commission, in this case it's not even INEC, so the research should allow them conduct this election within the provisions of the law. And then the citizens, the electorates, who are themselves stakeholders as well, to comply with the provisions of the law and conduct themselves all through this process. And then lastly, I would think that, look, we should go beyond the point of making an individual a demigod in such a way that we keep referencing an individual who has served the state for 8 years and is God. He's not so well. He's not so well in River State. He's doing so well probably at the Federal Capital Territory. And then let us leave him to do the job that's before him, and leave also the governor to do the job that's before him on his desk to do. And the security agencies should be dispassionate, really, and then non-partisan. Mr. President should know that he's governing the entire country, not a part of the country, sure. And should know that he has sworn to an oath to uphold the provisions of the Constitution. And in that cause, I think that he should enjoin that he admonishes members of his cabinet to follow suit, because they are representing him. In essence.
Thank you very much, Barrister Erin Ekene. We really appreciate and enjoy your analysis, your update that you gave us about River State politics. We look up to next time to have you in our studio. Thank you and God bless you. We wish the people of River State a free and fair election tomorrow, and we pray that nothing will happen to the people and River State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the people of River State. Thank you very much,
Barrister. Thank you very much. That's our prayer as well. God bless you too.
Thank you very much. So, that's Barrister Erin Ekene. You heard him in his analysis. Although we're supposed to have 2 guests live in our studio, the one for is a member of People's Democratic Party. That's an Honorable Barrister Chidi Lloyd. But maybe due to 1 or 2 things, tomorrow is an election. We have less than a few hours to the elections. We urge the people of River State to stay calm, and God bless every one of us. I remain your own Shitu Olaiton, live in our studio in Abuja. God bless you. Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone.
In the heart of Nigeria, where tradition meets innovation, comes a revolution in cooking oil. Introducing Gendo Premium Cooking Oil. Gender oil is made from granules, a natural oil source that doesn't contain any toxins or harmful chemicals, cholesterol included. You heard that right. Gender oil is 100% cholesterol free. Every drop of gender oil is packed with vitamin A and essential nutrients, delivering the unmistakable taste and aroma that is loved by generations of African food lovers. And here's the icing on the cake. Gender oil is fully certified by NAFDAC, and every bottle has unique security features so you can trust its quality, purity, and safety. So when you want no compromise on health and